Hello everybody! Welcome back to another episode of Minecraft How to Build. Manticore here, and today we are going to be starting a new project. Now, in the past two episodes when I was building the tavern and the plaza below me, you might have noticed a little buddy. Well, let's go ahead and head over and introduce him. So, taking a break from this central area, we're actually going to head over here to the edge of this forest, and as you can see, I've already started to build up a little bit of a base for our next project. And, folks, I would like you to meet Wicked. Wicked is our black witch's cat, and so today we will be building a witch's house. And I've already gotten started. As you can see, I made a little rope bridge, and I set up a small little island for the house itself to exist on. And let's go ahead and jump right in for that house. So as you can see, I went ahead and started out by making a circular shape, which is approximately 3 in the center with 2, 1, 2, and then another 3 on the side there if you're looking to build this in your own world. And I did build it one off of the ground because we're going to be building a little bit of a platform down below it. Now, looking at some reference photos, I decided that I wanted to go ahead and do a mushroom style build. Now, it's not going to be straight mushroom, but, well, you guys will see as we go along here. To begin, I also went ahead and filled in this little spot right here already, but typically the circle would, if you connected all the corners as well, would look a little bit something like that, and we put something right here and you'd have your full-on circle. But we went ahead and filled these 3 back corners to make the building not have those awkward little nooks in them. And then this is the front of the house, so we're going to have a little door right here. Now we're going to go ahead and just start by layering up some quartz is what we're using for this build. And we'll also be throwing some white concrete powder in there a little bit later on. And now, so this looks a little awkward and blocky as you can see, but we'll go ahead and do something like that for now. And then let's come around here. Now we're going to want to go ahead and build some windows in this little section. So we'll do something just like that. And so what we're doing here is we're going up 2 on the sides for our narrow windows, and then taking this inner wall, we're just closing that all off, and then we're going to have a little bit of a overhang here for the window itself. And we'll repeat that one more time over to here. And then comparing this over here, the door frame itself, we went ahead and added this extra block because the door is 1 lower than the windows themselves, which will be a little bit more apparent once we get that floor added in. But we're going to go ahead and continue with the wall for now. So building up a rough shape, let's go ahead and, I think on these inner corners, we'll just go ahead and build these up maybe, I think we actually want to build up this outer layer one more, and then we'll add those 2 as well, and we'll go from there. Now to make this a little bit easier, we'll just go ahead and make all these side corner sections 2 high for now, and then we'll go ahead and add on from there. Okay, so we'll add those 2 smalls on the corner, and let's actually bring those up 1 more, just in case. Since this is not a typical geometric build with a square, we're kind of building this a little differently. And I'm just looking at this here, and I'm wondering if these corners might make good windows. I kind of like that idea, so let's go ahead and leave it for now. And then let's go ahead and layer on another row of quartz up here on the top as sort of a little bit of a border topper. I don't quite know what you'd call it. We'll just go ahead and trace that all the way around. And So it looks like this is the only corner that wound up a little different. Okay, so if we do something like that, I think it should be good. Now it's looking a little funny right now, almost like an igloo, but you know, we don't want this to be too tall. We don't want it to be a tower, just a witch's house. So let's go ahead and start throwing on some red nether brick as a roof. And you know, I think I want to make this look a little bit different and maybe give it a sort of a balcony. So I'm just playing around with ideas here right now. We might wind up changing this here pretty soon, but I just want to give this a try. So I'm almost thinking something really long and almost pointed. And you know, the way this is looking, I think it's a little too flat. I think we need to do something like that, maybe? And then we'll go ahead and add some down in here as well. Looking at this, I think I want to drag these out a little bit. That way it's not so sudden of a drop, and that's looking pretty good. Let's go ahead and throw one on to right there, and that should give it a nice little point. And then let's go ahead and just grab the red nether bricks once again, and we'll build these all up along the outside of the outer border that we just made on that top section. So if you wanted to, it might be a little bit easier to make this inner ring here that we made and using a different type of material or a different type of block like cobblestone or something that you could replace. It's just a little bit easier to see and know that that's the part that you want to change up later on or build off of. But another good way to look at it is that these top windows, which we didn't wind up filling in, we just left those as windows instead of walls, those are pretty much right up to our first roof. And so we want to do a few different roof styles here. We want to, I know that might be kind of confusing considering we're just building one house, but if we give it a little bit more of a unique design, it'll look more organic, like a mushroom or something just kind of crazy. Now I'm thinking we could do a small balcony right about there, and I also want to do a second floor. So we're going to leave this right as this is for now after we get the red nether slabs on this side. I want to try and keep it as, what's the word? As symmetrical as possible. Okay, so I think that's looking pretty good. It's looking very angular and probably looks a little bit strange right now, but as you can see, we've got it hanging over the edge of this small little cliff by just a little bit. And then taking this quartz again, we're going to go ahead and bring this up, I'd say another 2 or 3 blocks. Maybe we do something like this. Because we want this white section, the quartz, to slowly slope inwards. That way it looks like it's getting smaller as it goes up higher. So I'm thinking we do a little third block up here between the 2 corners. And since this structure does have such a weird shape, I apologize, but there's not really a good way to explain this as we're going. But I'll try and take it slow, that way you guys can see what it is that we're doing with this build, and if you need to, you can go ahead and pause that camera. Or, not the camera, but you can pause the video. Okay, so I think something like that is going to be pretty good. And then if we go ahead and add this section up here, we can build the roof off of this. And I don't know if I want this part covered yet or not. We'll have to play around with that a bit. So let's go ahead and add some more red nether brick along the top of this. So now we've got something just like that. And then taking the stairs, we're going to go ahead and take this one out from that inner ring that we had. Actually, for this corner section, I think it'll be okay if we layer it on top of those. That should work out fine. Okay, so something just like this now. So the idea is that even though it is built in more of a mushroom shape, it's not an actual mushroom. It is still a building. Okay, so something just like that is what we've got going so far. And then let's go ahead and add some half slabs right up top. And you know, I'm kind of thinking that we might need some kind of wonky little chimney coming off of this thing somewhere. I feel like that could add a lot of character to this design as well. Okay, so this is the rough idea of the design that we have so far. It looks a little strange, but this is a smaller witch's house. Yeah, it's not quite a shack or hut or anything like that because it's pretty sturdy. Alright, so now let's go ahead and build up the base really quick before we mess with this inside. So let's go ahead and throw in some dark oak logs. That's what I want to work with here for this build today. And this is gonna go over slightly. I wanted to give it sort of like an ominous feel to the build style, which is kind of hard to do when you're working with all these bright colors. But so I thought a good way to do that would be to use a lot of dark wood and also use some fences around the area. And that way they just sort of stick up, they poke out, and they look a little dangerous. Kind of thinking like broken planks-ish, something like that. Okay, so we've got the front of the deck built up now. And let's go ahead and throw in some more slabs on the other side of these oak logs. That way they look like they're incorporated into the deck itself a little bit more. And I think right about here we'll want to go ahead and put some stairs. So let me go ahead and grab some of those. We'll do something like that. And then we can go ahead and start laying out this inside floor. Okay, so now we've got something a little bit like that, and I think before we move on, let's go ahead and add it to the outside of here as well. So we're just going to bring this all the way around, and we want it to stick out over the river a little bit, because this witch, she likes her personal space. She's more secluded. She doesn't like to be in the middle of town and bothered by people all day long, asking for spells or true love potions or anything like that. Okay. Let's do something just like that. And then we'll come back through here as well and sort of make this look like it's coming off of the cliff and not just floating. And you know, it looks like we'll need to touch up down here as well so that we don't have that white showing through. Alright, now that we've got this platform all laid out, I want to go ahead and use some of these dark oak stairs in order to bring it in further towards the cliff base itself. So now we'll do something like that. And right now I'm sort of playing with the idea of using stairs all the way down. I wasn't sure if I wanted to throw in a horizontal beam somewhere. And you know, I think I do because it's starting to look a little bit too much like that dark oak chocolate wood. Okay, so I think something like that should be good. And we can add some fences down underneath here as well. We'll do something like that. And you know, how would it look if we did that? It's a little sudden. I think we can go ahead and bring this down by 1. Okay, so we'll do something just like that. And this way you can tell it's sort of just hanging over the edge. I really like the way that looks, to be honest with you. Okay, now we'll go ahead and grab those dark oak fences now, and we'll apply these around the outside. So I'm thinking we do some just randomly across here. I want them to sort of look like spikes. Like I said, something a little less friendly. And wait, how does that work? No, I guess that's all. Wait. Like that? No, that's even. What am I missing here? Oh, this is one too far. Okay, we'll have to go ahead and fix that. I had to really look at that for a minute. Okay, so then we'll go ahead and fix this, do something like that, take that out, and remove those. There we go. Okay, so that should work a little bit better. And this one still needs it. There we go. Okay, so that's sort of what we have going so far. And it doesn't really have that mushroom look like I was talking about before. But we'll see what we can do about that here in just a little bit. For now, I want to come in to the interior, and I want to throw in some windows, and we'll probably have to add a little bit more wall onto here. But let's go ahead and start by adding a second floor, and I guess it would be right about here. So that should be flush with the first roof that we made. And we'll just go ahead and fill this all in for now, and then we can figure out where the stairs would come up a little bit later. The cool thing about this design is that we are going with more of a fantasy-like vibe, so everything doesn't have to be super realistic and perfect. Now we'll go ahead and grab those windows. And actually, these corner ones are probably gonna need just regular glass. And what if we actually did something a little bit more like that? Okay, I kind of like that. We'll do something like that for now. And we'll do that to all three sides. But keep in mind, if you are building a witch's house that doesn't have a view from every side, you can go ahead and close up some of these windows if you want to. And now we'll go ahead and grab just some regular glass in order to fill in those corners. Okay, so just like that, we've got our first floor completely secure now. And once we add that door, it'll be official. And you know, I almost like the idea of adding something a little bit different. How would a warp door look? I know it doesn't really go with any of the colors that we've got going on, but I do kind of like that viney look. I think we'll go ahead and leave that for now. And then we'll come up here to the second floor. And so this is probably going to be a smaller room, more like a bedroom or something. And I'm thinking that we replace these top parts with some quartz stairs upside down. That way it looks like we've got just a little bit more room up here than we actually do. And grabbing the smooth quartz block back out, I'm thinking that we go ahead and probably throw in this wall. And this is where we were thinking about doing the balcony, which is why I'm hesitating on that one. I don't think there's too much of a view from here. It's mostly just these trees. So we'll go ahead and block this up as well. And we'll do the same thing over here on the riverside. And then, just checking some things there. It's looking a little dark in here, which I'm not super happy about. So maybe we do go ahead and add a few extra windows, but just some small ones. Maybe, is that too much? I think that's too much. We'll just do one on each side there. And then if we do something like this. Oh no, that's already two. Okay, well, we'll go ahead and grab this warped door. And I was originally thinking about doing windows over here, but you know, why don't we just go ahead and fill that up with the quartz wall? Or maybe just do some small ones like that? That's not too bad. Okay, I'll go ahead and grab some regular glass again because it looks like I got rid of it already. Coming back out to here, I want to go ahead and actually replace some of this quartz that we've got laid down, and that way it's all red except for the parts that stick up above the actual roof section. Alright folks, this is what we've got going so far, and I know it looks a little strange with this point. I'm almost reconsidering that, but you know, I think for now we'll go ahead and add one more little lip to this side. Originally I didn't think we would, but I think it will actually help that build out a bit more. So coming along over to here, I want to go ahead and start adding in some vines, because that was the original reason that I wanted to have this little bit of a lip. And you know what? It looks like we are not able to hang these off of slabs. So now, what we can do... let's see here. You know, I'm thinking we get rid of the peak entirely, Even though it was something that I really wanted to add on to this build, I don't think it's really going to be beneficial considering it's such a small build. So now we'll go ahead and add more of these, and we'll take out those. And then we can go ahead and throw in some more half slabs, but we might actually wind up getting rid of some of those. And you know, now that we don't have that little peak, I think we can probably go ahead and get rid of this little window. Window and door. Okay. So, let's see. Yes, that was out one too far. We'll go ahead and bring that in one more. So, from this corner, it's 3 out in both directions, and then it's even. And then we'll lay down this little half slab roof section around it. Okay. Now I'm thinking for this that we go ahead and lay down a few vines around the side here. And you gotta be really careful when placing vines because they grow fast and they can quickly get out of control. So if you do want to keep them a little bit more regulated, just place string down around the area, and when you're far away you can't even notice. But so this is going to give it a more of a natural, naturey type look to it. And we'll do something like this. Okay. Whoops. Not right there. We can do right there. Right there. Right there. Right there. Okay, so something like that should be good for that side. And then let's actually go ahead and add one more right about there. And I don't think it should grow up that side. Now to finish off those vines, we'll go ahead and add just a few up top here. Okay, now we'll come around and we'll go ahead and place this string wherever we don't want those vines to grow. Alright, so something like that. Now we've got an overgrown look coming about. And I want to go ahead and actually grab a shovel here really quick and add a small pathway. Now, if you'll notice, I added a small section right over here, and that's because I want to do something a little bit different. For some of the rituals or spells that this witch has, she might need a little bit more room, and you know, let's go ahead and use a blue campfire because yes, just yes. So we'll dig one hole down and then we'll place that campfire down, and then I want to go ahead and place the cauldron next. So this way we've got a little cauldron and we've got a campfire right below it. So now she's cooking up her spells and, oh, maybe a little bit of trouble too. Alright, so something just like that. And then, I might be wrong about this. This might just be in a mod. Okay, yeah. So, I thought there was a way that you could add potions to cauldrons, but I must have heard that somewhere else. So we'll just go ahead and grab a water bucket. And we'll go ahead and fill that up. And then we'll add some more decoration out here. And I'm trying to think, do I want to do that now? You know what, I think I want to do that now. Let's go ahead and add just a few things. I'm thinking that we need ourselves some trees and some bushes. And maybe... Ooh, let's use some darker leaves. Let's see. I think spruce is going to have to do it, even though they have a bit of a different texture. Alright, so let's go ahead and build some kind of strange tree that doesn't grow straight up. It's got a little bit of a twist to it here, and maybe it comes out over this river. Has sort of a neat look to it. And you know, I'm almost wondering if something like that is actually enough. If we do that, then maybe something like that to bring it up higher. And let's do one more as well here. Okay. A little something like that could be cool. Let's try adding some leaves and seeing how it looks. For this tree, I want it to kind of hang down a little and maybe add a little bit more mystery to the place. We could even throw on some vines here as well, which would probably be a good idea to mask the clearing a little bit more, and that way it's more of a hidden area. That way people riding by on the river in their boats don't just automatically see her up here casting her spells. Alright, so what I'm trying to do now is I'm just playing around with dragging down some of these leaves a little bit. That way they look like they're hanging down kind of low. And you know, I've got no idea what this tree is looking like. I was originally thinking some kind of willow, but at this point, I don't even know anymore. It's just a funny little tree. Okay, so I think something like that could be good. And we'll go ahead and come back through here, and I'm thinking maybe some dark oak leaves or jungle leaves for bushes around the place. Oh yeah, it's got a nice look to it. We'll throw one up here and some around this ledge. Oh, is that too much? It might be too much. Let's see. Maybe something just like that I kind of like. We'll add a few more bushes around here. Okay, so something like this I'm sort of liking. It's looking really overgrown, which has a cool feel to it. And I'm almost wondering if maybe we put a few bushes up here on the build itself. Something like this could make it look a little bit extra overgrown along with all those vines. Okay, so this is what we've got going so far. I kind of like it. You know, this isn't really what I originally had in mind, but it does have a cool look so far. And we'll just play around with a few more bush designs here, sort of hanging over this little river. Maybe we speckle in a spruce or two over here where we can't see the tree. Okay. Now that's looking pretty cool, pretty overgrown. Maybe we do a few on this side of the rope bridge as well. And you know, I actually went ahead and cut off a good section of this land, and I still need to replace that little bit, get rid of it here. But I wanted this to be on its own little section so that we could add the rope bridge and just make it feel a little bit more mysterious. Alright, excuse me, Wicked, I might need you to move here. Let's see, what do fish like? Or, what do cats like? Fish! Fish do not like cats. Come here, follow me. Follow me, Wicked! Actually, he would do that without a fish, wouldn't he? Because he's already tamed. Ha! Ha ha! Minecraft. Okay, now that we've done that, go ahead and throw in a small leaf right there. Ooh, something just like that. Yes. I'm liking it, folks. I'm liking it. Now, I almost feel like we need another tree here. So let's go ahead and do one maybe over here on the side, just sticking off of this cliff. See if we do something like that. And then we get rid of a few of these blocks. And then up again. Something like that. Looks pretty good. Oh. Okay, yeah. So I'm liking that. Let's go ahead and go with it. And I want to bring these down before I forget again. We'll use that for something else here. But we'll go ahead and do another one of these dark, weepy looking trees. Again, no idea what type of tree this would be, but it just looks kind of cool. That might be a little too far down. Yeah, let's have it hanging. Then we'll go over to here, do that. Oh, why not? Alright, so again, we're just trying to drag some of these corners down with some longer leaves, maybe making them look a little bit heavier. Not quite like palm trees, but just something a little bit different. Oh, you know, I really like this because if you're on a boat and you come traveling down this river, you could just go right under here. That's so cool. Okay, we might have to do another tree over here or something, but for now I think we'll go ahead and shorten that up just a bit. And then maybe toss in a leaf or two over through here. What about right there? Oh, that's not too bad. Something like that could work. Okay. Now, I think I'm going to build up a few more things along this outside here. And before I do that, I just want to try adding on a few more of these spikes. Because I felt like these sides were a little empty. So we'll just do what we did on the front where the door is. And we'll put those on both of the outer corners. And I think that should make it look a little bit better. Now, I'm going to go ahead and add those trees as I mentioned. And then I think I'm going to do the inside as well. And I'll bring you guys back for one last look at what we wind up with for the interior. Alright folks, we are now back. We've gone ahead and done pretty much everything that was left to do on as far as details go for this build. So now I'm going to give you a quick tour and show you guys around. So coming straight up into here, you can see that I added a few custom trees around the area. And I actually decided to make a dead tree using acacia wood and not adding any leaves, and I think it turned out pretty good. You can see the roots sticking out down here, so that sort of adds to the witchy feel, I suppose, the cursed land style. And so coming across here, across the rope bridge, we added in a few of these sweet bushes around the place, which are still growing, the little berry bushes, and we also bone mealed a few sections that we didn't put anything in. But for the most part, everything is either a bush or a crop section where the witch is growing her whatever she might need for her spells, her ingredients essentially, so roots and flowers and wolfsbane, whatever else she might need. So this is this little area, nice and simple. I think if anything I would have liked to have a little bit more area to give her a bit more of a garden, but that's okay. Moving right along into here. Oh, and actually before we go inside, I just wanted to point out this roof. So as you can see, I added a few spotted sections in here to make it look a bit more mushroom-like and a less basic, rounded. I wanted it to be obvious that this is going for a mushroom theme. But so I used stripped, I think it's either birch wood. I think it's stripped birch wood, but there's a chance it might be stripped oak. But yeah, so I just speckled that in around the place and added a few spots onto the building. Then coming inside, Wicked has moved in. He's quite happy with the place. And he is sitting on this little rug, which is made out of this crimson stem full block. I don't quite remember what it's called. Let me see if I can find it here really quick. Here we go. Crimson hyphae? Yeah, whatever that is. I like to use it as a mystical carpet, magical type thing because of the way that it glows. I think it has a really nice eerie feel to it. And so we've got some purple stairs around the place. If you're building this in survival, obviously this is going to be more of a late game build, but feel free to substitute anything that you see here with more obtainable items for your survival world until you get to that point. And we've got a bunch of bookcases, of course. And then along with these soul lanterns, these are mostly aesthetic because they don't give off a lot of light. We also have these shroom blocks, which are halfway between the upstairs and the downstairs, so they light up both floors. And they've got a pretty nice look to them, but we'll go over those a little bit more once we head upstairs. So then we've also got some basic potted plants here, along with a floating shelf, and we've got some withered roses or black roses, however you want to look at them. I think they're called wither blooms, so they're not the easiest thing to get, again, in survival, but they're all only for decoration. And so then we have our chests and we have our little kitchen area. We've got our fridge, we've got a brewing stand, of course, along with a cauldron. And I decided to use sandstone slabs for these in order to sort of basically make some counters that are a little bit different, something that you don't always see. And we've got our floating shelves with some more chests, and we've got this guy staring at you here from back on the crafting table. That's, it's not creepy or anything. It's fine. It's fine. Moving. Oh, actually, one last thing I want to show you guys is we do have a small chest stacked back here behind the stairs. So it's sort of a little secret storage spot, but it's nothing too discreet. It works out pretty well, I think. So then coming up our spiral staircase, we've got a very small bedroom up here. And so what I did is, along with the bed, which is the easiest part here, I attached some blue soul fire torches onto chains because I thought it kind of looked like they were floating and gave it a mystical look. And then something which I don't usually use is this scaffolding. I decided to use that to hold up these bookcases in the corner, because that way the light could still get through. And then we've got some stripped spruce log right here, which is sort of a little shelf for our mushrooms, which she's growing. And so between the one that's on top of the bookcase, on top of the stair pole, I don't know what you'd call that, a support beam or something. Between that and the others, we've got, it's pretty much every other, so it's spaced out nice and even. And then we added a half slab of quartz right up here, which gave us a little custom shelf to throw in some chests. And one last soul fire torch. But folks, that is everything. So, with this unique build, we have completed our witch's house. And folks, if you did enjoy this build, don't forget to hit that like button. And don't forget to hit subscribe so you can see more awesome builds like this. Now, in the next build, we're gonna go ahead and keep up this magical theme. And I know it's Christmas, but hey, let's celebrate Halloween all year round. That's what I say. So folks, look forward to that. And until next time, have an awesome one. I'll catch you then. Bye!